Welcome to this lunch break yoga practice. Welcome to this lunch break. I recommend that you do this before you eat lunch. Your belly will thank you. Don't want to use your desk? And up in this corner, you'll see a mat-only option. No extra props are needed for this practice, just your desk and your mat. Go ahead and grab what you need and we'll get started. All right, so let's get started. You want to roll your mat out so that it is parallel to the edge of the desk that you are using, no matter which side it is, doesn't matter. And I have a second mat here just for display purposes once we get into the flow. So our first pose will be downward facing dog on the desk. So make sure you have about 1.5 to 2 feet square space so that you can move your arms around on the desk. Once you're there, forearms down, palms of the hands flat, and walk your feet back to find your downward facing dog. Of course, this is a modified variation, but you'll still get a nice opening through the shoulders. The core can still engage here, and you get a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. Keep the belly pulling up and in, and breathe here. Be mindful too that the head stays in line with the arms, so that you're not dropping and breaking the line of the neck. This is a wonderful stretch to open up the chest and the upper back. Let's take one more breath here. On your next inhale, we're going to move forward into a forearm plank, balancing on the desk. So as you inhale, roll through the spine, start to shift your weight into the forearms, press down through the hands and the arms, and come to a nice flat back. On your exhale, start with the belly, scoop it back, and shift into your downward facing dog on the desk. And we'll move through that a couple more times. Inhaling, rolling through the spine, shifting forward, finding the forearm plank. Make sure the neck extends as well. And then exhale, scoop the belly, shift it back. This time we're going to move into Sphinx. Roll through the shoulder, come forward, find that forearm plank. Exhale here and then inhale. Press down even more and lift the chest. The hips might drop a little bit. That's okay. Scoop the belly, shift it back. Find your down dog. Let's move through that one more time. Rolling through the spine, shifting forward. Find that Sphinx. Exhale, scoop the belly and shift your weight back. From here, we're going to move forward into forearm plank. No Sphinx this time. Take your right hand, bring it in so that the fingertips are kind of towards the left forearm and turn into your side plank, rotating on the balls of the feet. Keep the body in one piece. The other arm can extend out. Really press down through that supporting arm. One more breath. Now we're going to switch sides. So the left arm will come down flat on the desk. Find your balance here. Rotate on the balls of the feet, find side plank on the other side. Be careful that the hips don't dip down, keep them lifted. Nice extended arm through that top arm. Good. From here, let's find that downward facing dog again. Make sure that your feet are right underneath the hips. We're going to have to stand on one foot in a moment. On your next inhale, the right leg will float up and back and find your three-legged dog. Now you can move your hands here so that they're a little bit closer to the edge of your desk, but keep pressing down. As you exhale, scoop the belly, pull the thigh to the chest, and roll up onto the ball of the standing foot. Inhale, extend the leg back. Flatten the standing heel. Exhale, scoop it up. Come into that lifted position. Inhale, shift it back. Exhale, scoop it in. Now, hop forward. So you're closer to the desk. Outwardly rotate the right leg. Bring your heel up onto the desk. If you need to adjust your pants to make this work, then go ahead and do that. We're looking for pigeon pose. Yeah. If your desk is too high, then modify this and bring the ankle across the standing thigh, and you can bend that standing leg to accommodate. But standing up nice and tall here, you might have to adjust that standing leg as much as you need to. We want the hips to be as parallel as possible. On your inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist so you're facing that front knee, your right knee. The left hand stays connected to the desk or even your foot or ankle if you'd like. Then take the right arm, you're going to lift it up and over and take a side stretch. Now if you feel that right hip slipping upwards, use your right hand on the thigh and make sure it stays down and parallel. Keep the neck long. You can rotate the head and look to the upward right diagonal. One more breath here. And bring it back up to vertical. Undo that twist. We're going to take that top leg and bring it into a high lunge, foot on the desk. Now, if the desk is too high, you can't modify by putting it on your thigh. So use your chair as long as it doesn't have wheels. If it has wheels, you're going to have problems. So make sure that you're on a chair that's nice and sturdy. If you need to, hop back a little bit with that standing foot to find the optimal stretch in those hips. Keep the chest lifted. You can use fingertips on your desk, or you can even bring the hands to the thigh if you'd like. Staying here and breathing, opening up the front of the hip. Good. From here, take your right arm, bring it to the inside of the front leg. We're gonna find lizard pose here. So open up that right leg, heel toe it open just a little bit, flex the foot, outwardly rotate the thigh so that you're on the pinky edge of the foot. Now you can stay here, you can bend the standing leg if you need, you can even fold it forward if it's available to you. We're really getting into those hips today. One more breath here. If you're folded forward on your forearms, bring yourself back up to vertical. We're going to turn to the right. So that means that both legs are going to have to rotate. Turn all sets of toes to face the right side. Now this front leg might be a little overcrossed. If your knee is in front of your belly button, hop the foot in just a little bit so that you're not overstretching that outer hip. Bring your right arm out to your side to a T, and as you exhale, you're going to move your hips over to the right and lean over to the left with the upper body. Inhale, come back to vertical, let your right arm float to the shoulder height, and then exhale, move those hips to the right and lean over to the left. Let's go one more time, inhaling to vertical, exhale, lean it over. Now stay leaned over in the upper body, let the right arm cycle down and to the side, float the right leg up and out and find half moon balance. Rotate the bottom leg so that you're moving the heel only, so the toes are pointing towards your desk. Now this is not a full variation, it's fine, use the desk for your balance for right now. We're looking for strength in this right outer hip. We just stretched it out a lot. Strengthening it is just as important as stretching it. On your next breath, bring yourself to a parallel position, finding a warrior three. You can use your hands on your desk still. We're gonna work now on the standing hip. As you inhale, open the hip and the shoulder, finding a little bit more of a half moon, and then exhale, bring it back to your warrior three, squaring off. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, squaring off. One more time. Good. From here, we're going to come into tree pose. Soften the standing knee. Start to engage the belly even more. Shift your weight. So you're standing on that left leg. Right thigh comes forward. Outwardly rotate. Connect the foot to the inner leg. Just be mindful that that foot is not on your knee. Hands can go where you need them to find your balance. And breathe here. Hopefully your heart rate is a little higher at this point. Feeling a bit warmer. Okay, so from here, we're gonna move into triangle pose, but because this is a challenging flow, I'm gonna challenge you a little bit with your balance. You can always use the desk if you need it. This standing foot, you're gonna move the heel back and around to the left. So lift it, put it down, turn. You're rotating on the ball of your foot. You want your back to face the desk. From here, take your right foot, step it forward, and find your legs for triangle pose. Inhale your arms out to your side to a T. As you exhale, hips go to the left, right arm comes downward. Keep that lower belly pulling up and in, and take this wherever you'd like it to go. If the top arm wants to be somewhere else, on the waist, behind the back, or sweeping over the ear for more intensity, go for it. On your next breath, extended side angle. Bend the right knee. Right fingertips can come to the mat. Forearm can come to the thigh. Top arm again can do as you wish, wherever you'd like it to go. Breathing here. On your inhale, bring yourself up to warrior two, pressing through those legs. And we'll stay in warrior two now for a few breaths. Get that laser focus on that middle finger right in the front. Breathe. On your next breath, bring yourself into crescent pose, rotating on the ball of the foot of the left, squaring off those hips, arms lift up by the ears. Sink down. We're looking for hip opening on the left hip. From here, find warrior three, shifting your weight forward and finding that balance. Now, here's the real challenge. We're gonna float into half moon balance. It's okay if your fingertips don't touch the ground. We're looking more for the balance and the movement and challenge through the core and the hips. Once you find half moon and your breath is finished, find your way into warrior three. Inhale as you open up into half moon. Exhale as you come in to warrior three. Let's go one more time. Once you find that warrior three, we're going to stay for 2 full breaths. From here, bring your feet to Tadasana underneath you. Find chair pose. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. And if you'd like more intensity, you can twist to the right. Either hands to the outer thigh and hip, or tuck the elbow around and find the twist. Make sure those knees are side by side and that your head is higher than your heart. Shift your weight into the right leg, lift the left heel, tap or slide that foot back, and find your twisted high lunge. The symphony of dogs never ends. From here, left fingertips down to the mat. Inhale the right arm up, let yourself sink into that high lunge. 2 hands down on the mat, find your way to plank, and take your vinyasa. Moving back to down dog or child's pose, your choice. Don't mind me as I laugh at my dogs as they sing their songs. All right, one more breath here. Well, let's find our way to the top of the mat. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Face your desk if you're not already. And let's find down dog on the desk. Forearms on there, palms flat, body in a 90-degree angle. Take a nice breath here. Moving through the second side, lifting up the heels, shifting forward, finding forearm plank. Being careful that the hips don't sink forward. Then exhale, scoop the belly, shift it back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, shifting forward, forearm plank. Exhale, press it back. And we move into that Sphinx pose. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale here. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, scoop the belly, shift it back. One more time with Sphinx. And on this next breath, coming forward into your plank, and we take our side planks. So the left arm will come in front now, parallel to the edge of your desk. Roll onto the edges of the feet. Right arm extends from the shoulder, breathing here. Bring it back to neutral. Switch so the right arm is in front. Rotate the feet so you're on the edges of the feet and find your side plank on the desk. Bring it back to neutral. Find that downward facing dogs. Walk the feet forward a little bit. Move the hands back a little bit. Inhale the left leg up and back into a 3-legged dog. As you exhale, thigh to the chest, pull up onto the ball of the foot of the standing leg. Inhale, extend, let that standing heel move down. Exhale, pull everything up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull everything up. If you need to, hop forward a little bit. Pigeon pose. Outwardly rotate that left leg, bringing the heel either to your desk and adjust your pants if you need to, or cross the ankle over the standing thigh. Let the hip adjust to this position. Make sure your hips are parallel. All right, from here, inhaling, lifting through the spine. Exhale, twist so that you're facing the upper knee, the left knee. Let the arms sweep up and over to the side, and take a nice side bend to the right. If you feel like this left hip starts to lift up, use your hand to encourage the hip downward. Get a nice stretch for the outer hip and the waistline. And on your inhale, come back up to neutral, square off. We're gonna take that leg into high lunge. So make sure the knee is in line with the armpit. If you need to hop the standing foot back a little bit, then do so. And ease into that high lunge. Keeping the chest lifted, shoulders are back. Now finding lizard pose, bring the left hand to the inside of the left leg. Heel toe it out a little bit so it's wider than the shoulders. Flex the ankle, outwardly rotate, starting the pinky edge of the foot. You can stay here or you can fold it forward. One more breath. If you're folded forward, bring it up to vertical. We're gonna come into that side variation. So turn your whole body, turn the toes so you're facing the left. Inhale your left arm out to your side to a T. And then as you exhale, shift the hips over to the left, top arm comes over and lean to the right, over your desk. Inhale, bringing it back to vertical. Exhale, lifting up and over to the right. And we'll go one more time. Now keep the torso leaning over, look down at your right hand. Left arm sweeps down and out. Lift up that left leg and find your half moon balance. Now once that top leg is floated, look down at your bottom toes, make sure they're facing your desk. There we go. Finding the balance here. And then gently square off and find your warrior three. And we'll take that same movement through the standing hip, inhaling, opening up to that half moon balance. And then as you exhale, square it off. Use your body as one piece, pivoting on that right hip joint. Inhale, opening up to half moon. Exhale, squaring off, warrior three. One more time. Inhaling and opening. Exhaling, squaring off. So that's staying here now, warrior three, keeping those hips square. And we shift into tree pose. So softening the standing leg, engage the belly, start to bring the left thigh forward and up, outwardly rotate, and find the connection of the bottom of the foot to the inner leg. Find your balance and breathe here. Right now we shift it into our triangle pose. We're going to pivot the standing heel, lift and move, lift and move, lift and move as many times as you need to. And you're gonna step that left leg out so the toes point to the front of your mat, and then shift your legs and find your triangle position in the feet. Inhale your arms out to your side to a T, and then exhale, shift the hips over to the right. Left hand comes down towards the front leg. Breathing in triangle pose. Top arm can go where you'd like it. Keep it extended, hand on the waist, or bind behind the back. Moving now into extended side angle, soften the left knee. You can bring a forearm to the thigh, fingertips down through the mat, wherever you'd like it to go. And the top arm can either extend straight up, stay on your waist, spine behind the back, or sweep up and over the ear. Breathing here. Now on your next breath, press through those legs. Inhale, come up to warrior two. Find the positioning of the arms. Let your eyes focus over that middle front finger. And breathe. Shifting now into crescent pose. Rotating, use the body as one whole piece. We've practiced this a few times now. Rotating on the ball of the back foot. Finding your crescent pose. Scooping up through the belly so you get more opening through that right hip flexor. On your next breath, shift forward, warrior three. Finding the balance here. Now we'll take that same transition from warrior three to half moon. Now you don't have to touch the ground. You can keep the arms floating if you'd like. If you're close enough to your desk and you need it for balance or a wall, then use it. Nice and slow, from half moon to warrior three. And the arms can come to prayer in front of the heart. They can stay out by your side. You can keep them like airplane wings, whatever you like. Half moon to warrior three. We'll go one last time. Once you find your warrior three, stay there for 2 full breaths. And gently step the right foot forward, find Tadasana legs, and then chair pose. Inhaling as you bend the legs, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart, and we'll twist to the left. Either hands to the outer hip and thigh, or tuck the elbow around. Be mindful that the knees stay parallel and the head stays higher than the heart. Shift your weight over into the left foot, right heel lifts, tap or slide back that right foot, find the high lunge. Release the right hand down to the mat under the shoulder. Inhale, the left arm up, enjoy this twist and expansion of the chest. And bring it down to the front edge of your mat. Find plank and take your vinyasa. Coming back into child's pose and resting here for 3 breaths. Take one more breath. Bring those legs to parallel if they're wide. Bring your arms forward in front of you, about the width of the mat apart. So we're going to come forward into Sphinx pose. So slithering your way forward, letting the hips come down to the mat, legs extend, elbows underneath the shoulders, palms, fingers pressing down into the mat, opening the chest. All right, from here, quad stretch. Bend up the right leg. Right hand reaches back. If this is too intense, you can always lay down on the belly, resting the head down. Once the heel is moving to the sit bone, press the right hip down into the mat. Gently release, switch to the other side. Same thing here. Once you're at a comfortable stretch, make sure you press that left hip into the mat. Gently release. Coming into crocodile pose, stacking the hands, forehead rests on the hands. From here, we'll move into bow pose. So go ahead and bend up both legs, reach back, grab onto the feet or ankles. Take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, press those feet into the hands and lift. Enjoy the opening of the front of the body, the arms, the back. Gently release. Coming back into your crocodile pose. You can gently rock the hips from side to side here, or if you rather, you can bend the legs and windshield wiper from side to side. And bring the legs or the hips back to neutral. Tuck those toes underneath. Hands come underneath the shoulders. We're going to take a nice inhale. As you exhale, reverse push-up. You can take it on your knees if you like. But staying in your plank now for a few breaths. And gently release the knees down. We'll come to a seated position. Legs out in front of you. Give them a good shake. And we'll take Janu Shirshasana. Right leg comes in, bottom of the foot to the inner thigh, sitting up nice and tall through the spine. As you exhale, gently twist and fold forward. Enjoying the stretch through the lower back, the hamstring, and the hip. On your inhale, bring yourself up to vertical. Exhale where you need to. Release the legs out, and we switch to the other side. Left foot comes to the inner leg, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, gentle twist to the right, and then fold over that right leg. On your inhale, bringing everything back up to vertical. Exhale, release the leg out. And let's come into reclined bound angle pose. The bottoms of the feet together, knees out to the side, and then gently roll down through the spine. And you can choose your orientation here. Sometimes when you're underneath the desk, it helps to block the light as we're settling down now. Totally up to you how you want to orientate yourself. If you have some clothing with you and you want to place it over your eyes, feel free to do so now. Nice deep breaths are always welcome. And just breathe here. Allow this time to check in with your breath, to feel your heartbeat, to feel the feels, what's going on in your body right now. You feel the energy buzzing through. You feel sweat, whatever it is that you might feel. One more full breath here with the legs in bound angle pose. Bring your hands down to the legs. Use your hands to bring the legs to a parallel position. Just take a gentle windshield wiper from side to side. Nice and slow and mindful. And once you've done each side equally, go ahead and extend the legs out and find your Shavasana. If you're in the office and you're not comfortable laying in a Shavasana, feel free to sit upright in a meditative position, legs crossed or seated in a chair, eyes closed, and just gently breathe. We're taking this opportunity to let the nervous system settle down, so that you can feel rested and have a peaceful lunch. Gradually start to deepen your breath. Find energy in the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, hands, and feet. Allow the arms to extend long up overhead by the ears. Give yourself a nice long stretch through the body. And gently hug the knees in towards your chest and give a gentle rock from side to side. And find your way onto your right side in fetal position. If you're seated in a chair or in a meditative position, just stay there and breathe some more. And gently find your way to a seated position if you're not there already, keeping the eyes closed. And either bring the hands to prayer in front of the heart, or one hand on the heart and one on the belly. Checking in to see how you feel after that practice. Hopefully de-stressed after your morning. A little bit more relaxed and ready to tackle your afternoon. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. If you have more time, check out my hands, head, and neck release, which is right here. Or if you want more evening practices, we have a playlist up here. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.